Hello, we have storms in Queensland now, spots of northern Queensland, and also especially in some spots of northern, central northern Queensland, and they might continue over the next few days. So the 5-day total here shows some areas of Queensland close to 200 millimeters. The European Townsville shows like some 149, 200 further south, and this model has like this area in northern Queensland with more rain and some storms, some stronger storms, has close to 200 millimeters in some areas, some other areas to 170. So be aware in Queensland of these storms in northernmost Northern Territory as well, because of those tropical thunderstorms, and does show close to northwestern Australia and close to 100 millimeters in Carafa, some other areas to 137, even dampier. So be aware some tropical moisture there, but especially those storms in Queensland. And does show us a little bit of rain central Australia and some rain to southern Australia next 5 days. But if I just put like 1 day and 10 hours, most of the action is in Queensland. This is like the next 34 hours shows already close to 100 millimeters in Queensland. So be careful those areas. And some long range that does show, like this is 10 days out, like 12 days out, shows a lot near northwestern Australia and a lot in Queensland and Northern Territory. But that's too far, it will still change. There's the GFS next 5 days, has spots in Queensland to 300 millimeters to 355. That might be too much, but the GFS sometimes is right as well. Shows there near northwestern Queensland, closer to 254 as well. So be aware, it does have some fronts in southern Australia, some spots there, but nothing crazy. So here, let's see, there's the icon to show like in Victoria, some 62 millimeters, some spots there. The icon's more concentrated in the ocean, but it does have those storms in Queensland as well, and some spots like near northwestern Australia, a few showers too, and some thunderstorms. So let's see if there's anything else here. There are these high resolution models that might be important here. So let's take a look if it works here. So because it just switched back to the European, so I'm not sure if this is working. But here, yeah, so this one is for the Northern Territory. So does show like some scattered storms, even some areas close to 100 millimeters, but more near like Queensland, Northern Territory into Queensland, has some downpours. This just the next 1 day or so, and the rate shows more than 100 millimeters in some spots there. So be careful those storms. But if I put this like for northern Queensland, for example, to show the big picture, so this high resolution model has upwards of 800 millimeters the next 26 hours. So I don't know if this model went nuts or what's happening, but sometimes this is possible because these high resolution models show like very very precise data of the thunderstorms there. So if this is correct, just be careful, and like 700 millimeters can potentially be life-threatening, especially if it falls in a very short amount of time. So please just monitor this like while it's happening, because some information might change later after I make this video. So and be careful central Queensland too. So please stay safe. And there's this one for like for New South Wales. It's still quiet, just a shower or two there. And there's like this one here if it works. This one for central Queensland, a thing or two, but nothing crazy. So please be careful, and even the models that are not high resolution already show like more than 100 millimeters the next 24 hours. So just stay safe, be careful with flooding and intense thunderstorms with lightning. maybe some other stuff, hail or water spouts. So please be aware. And then the European does show those storms throughout Queensland during this week. Be careful. Northern Territory too, and it tries to get a cyclone going, but not quite. It gets a low pressure there, but doesn't fully develop. So there's a possibility of a tropical disturbance going to northwestern Australia, but maybe it won't be a cyclone. But the GFS is the one that had the most rain there, so let's see if it shows something. It does show more disturbances further north, like March 27th or something, but it doesn't have like further south like the European. But if you're watching from Christmas Island or the Cocos Island Islands, there's this big broad disturbance too, like in West Island and those areas. There are a lot of storms now Tuesday, the 18th, around West Island and those areas. So please be careful there too. There's the rain accumulation, and does show like some 68 millimeters or even more in West Island. I'm not sure if this island here is Christmas Island, but it might be somewhere else. But just be careful those storms too, and the long term does increase a little bit in moisture in this area there. So be careful if you're watching this from Asia. Be careful in Malaysia as well, like 500 millimeters the next 5 days. The European has this is just a possibility, but the GFS has also a lot, like 300 millimeters in Singapore next 5 days, and other spots near Malaysia and the South China Sea. So stay safe there. Let's just see if there are any tropical disturbances here, or if we are clear of it. So it does show this is a disturbance there near the Cocos Islands, but it's just low chance. It might not form much, and the rest is kind of quiet for now. So be aware. Let's just check like some longer range, maybe for the Indian Ocean. So the GFS does have the disturbance there, and then the African side is better now. Does show still some showers and thunderstorms, but much better. And the South China Sea, on the other hand, there's a lot of moisture. Then the GFS on March 29th does have something to northwestern Australia, a low pressure there. There's the European Zero Sea has that disturbance near the Cocos Island. Does try to form this into a tropical storm, but that looks like very weak. It might not be anything. So this goes, and the European does form this tropical storm near northwestern Australia in March 26 or March 26. But it's still a long way out, and it might not become anything. So just be aware. There's like a bigger picture for Australia from the Canadian model too for the precipitation. So just until Wednesday, it does have reports of 150 to 200 millimeters in Queensland. So just be careful there with flooding and everything. And until March 27th, it is like 13 days out, shows more across Queensland and Northern Territory and Western Australia too. You might have a tropical storm there too. So just keep watching these trends and everything, but nothing so concerning as of now, except for the rain in Queensland. That's quite concerning. But yeah, be careful. The rest of Oceania is kind of quiet, not quiet, but like passing showers and storms, but no crazy things. So showed like in Vanuatu, Samoa Island, some passing showers and storms, spots of Fiji, some showers, but nothing so extreme. But even a small thunderstorm can be dangerous if you're not careful. So always be aware and monitor your local weather update. There's like in Tonga too, some 57 millimeters next 5 days. French Polynesia is some light tropical showers, but maybe a thunderstorm or two and some fronts in Adamstown. There's the icon too, shows a little bit more near Samoa and Tuvalu, especially Tuvalu, some 100 millimeters, some spots there. and some AE8. So yeah, more tropical moisture there. There's the GFS, just 83 in Tuvalu, but yeah, be careful, Papua New Guinea. Marshall Islands, some tropical showers and thunderstorms, more in Micronesia, near some areas there. The eastern Philippines too, and spots of Micronesia, especially the eastern shores of the Philippines. Be careful, and some central islands there facing east, so be careful with flooding. But be aware in Singapore, Malaysia, Sumatra, warn others there. There's the axis that I'm forgetting as well. It does show like central Indonesia, Malaysia, and this just switched 2 inches suddenly. So shows like some 122, even 200 in spots of Malaysia, because this is a high resolution model. But it does show more in the ocean, but it does show like in the coast of Malaysia, and some more spots there show like insane amounts in the middle of the ocean because of that distance, and 53 in West Island. But in Queensland, it does have right on the coast, close to 300 meters, even close to 400. But in Townsville, just 130, Palm Island, close to 200. And it does have some crazy amounts, the Gulf of Carpentaria, right next to Queensland there. So be careful those storms in other parts of Papua New Guinea, Northern Australia. But the rest is quite fine, except for a few areas of a thunderstorm or two. So be careful. As you can see here, those passing showers and storms, sometimes in Oceania, but nothing that crazy. And New Zealand, there's kind of a system now with some rain and a few thunderstorms, so be aware, even some snow in the mountains. This goes and kind of clears away by Friday. But there's another front later Friday, some weak showers until Monday, the 24th. So be aware. The rain accumulation somewhere in central New Zealand, some more spots there, but nothing that crazy. There's the snowfall, shows like some northern mountains, some 11 centimeters, 2 centimeters, some spots there. The GFS does show some there, but very little. The icon barely nothing, but does have a little bit too. So be aware, it's kind of colder in those mountains during the night, especially some areas to 1 degrees, 0 degrees. But during the day it's milder in a few spots in the north, like 22 to 23 degrees in the north. But yeah, it's gradually getting colder there. But be aware. And in Australia, it's still like very hot, especially in the north. Some spots there, nothing crazy, but still hot. Especially in the south at night, kind of colder, some 7 and 8 degrees. Tasmania too, but it's still hot in the north, even during the night. And then Wednesday afternoon still shows some 37, 39, and more spots there. Thursday afternoon still shows like spots to 37, 38, and this goes, and I don't see any crazy heat waves on the horizon, but this is indeed hot for most people, like close to 40 degrees, spots of 39. So just be aware. Sometimes a little bit cooler in the southwest, but yeah, just be aware in those storms in Queensland. Be careful, some stronger winds too, and then this goes maybe some fronts near Tasmania on the 20th, other spots in the south, some more wind in southwest and New Zealand, occasionally with this front as well, not areas. And the European does have that cyclone trying to spin on the 22nd there, and more stuff later, maybe like the 24th, South Australia, and spots in Western Australia too, later this month. But nothing that crazy, but just be aware. The waves are bigger around New Zealand and Australia, but sometimes like slightly higher, like 2 meters, 1.9, but nothing that crazy. Maybe further southeast in the Pacific, but be aware. And this mainly it. Be careful those storms there.